Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Welcome you all in the virtual learning system of Pakistan International School Taif, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As you know that this is Pakistan International School Taif virtual class for class second year. Subject is computer science and this is our fourth lecture. And teacher name is Imran Ahmad. Dear students, as you know that we have started chapter number 1, which is operating system. The feedback of our previous lecture is we have started question number 1. Question is describe different types of operating systems. This is our previous topic and we will continue this topic today also because half of the question was remaining. Different types of operating systems are as follows. Number 1, batch processing operating system, multi-programming operating system, multitasking operating system, time sharing operating system, real-time operating system, and the next was multi-processor operating system, and the last, which we have discussed in our previous lecture, was parallel processing operating system. Today our topic, same topic, but the different heading, distributed operating system. The distributed operating system manages the operation of distributed system. A distributed system is used to execute the program on different computers, In the previous where we were discuss parallel processing, multiprocessing. So this is in the multiprocessing CPU was 1, but the processing top was different. Same as in the multiprocessor, CPU was 1, but the processor was more than 1. Over here, watch over here, different computer. It means that we have more than one computer where the operating system performs same one kind of operating system in different computers. Used to execute the programs on different computers in a network. So this one is also called network. The program may run on one computer and access data from another computer in a network. So this is a definition of a network is also you are working in one place. Let's say you are working in at home and you are accessing the data from the office. So this is called the network kind of operating system or distributed operating system. The distributed operating system automatically distributes the task among different computers. Watch over there. Different computer means one computer is present at your home, one computer is present in the office. So there are different computers. So you are accessing the data from the office to execute the program efficiently. And you are accessing your data or programs efficiently. So this one is known as distributed operating system. Number next is embedded operating system. Embedded operating system. The embedded operating system is an operating system that is embedded into the hardware. It means that they are fixed in the, let's say, game consoles. Games consoles, they put the different kinds of software over there. If you have the PS4 or Xbox, they place the operating system. They provide the operating system to operate. Why? Their menus are coming, run menu, play menu, exit. So like this one. So this is called the embedded. It controls the operation of the device. It controls the operations of device such as GPS. Watch over here. A person is sitting in the car and he is accessing the GPS. Watch over here. The screen shows that they're kind of display graphical user interface display is watching over here, and he click with the help of his thumb or finger to access the location. So this over here at this GPS device, the view which it is given, it is known as embedded operating system. Device such as GPS, cars, microwave, oven, ATM, TV, digital camera, and washing machine, etc. So this kind of operating system is used in that kind of devices. It runs automatically and performs the specific task when the device is turned on. Whenever you turn on the device, so it performs automatically. So this one is known as embedded operating system. This question is finished over here. Our topic was describe different types of operating system. Very important question. In long question you can see that most of the time you can see in the long question you can explain, but in the short question as well, in the short question they can ask one by one in the paper, what is batch processing operating system, what is multi-programming operating system. Like this one, any kind of operating system they can ask in short questions. So keep in mind, this one is very important question. Multitasking operating system, time sharing, so up to so on, there are total 9 operating systems are explained in your books. Next question. This one is also important, very easy question. You can revise this one very easily. Describe the type of operating system based on number of user they support. Based on number of user they support. Watch over here. This one is one point over here, based on number of user. If one user, then which kind of operating system you can use. If number of user are more than one, then which kind of operating system then use. So describe the types of operating system based on number of user they support. The operating systems can be divided into 2 types. Major, you can say that operating system is divided into 2 types on the basis of number of user, based on the number of user they support. These are known as single user operating system and multi-user operating system. This topic already you have studied in class 9 as well as in class first year also. So this one is very easy topic. First one, single user operating system. Single user operating system is a type of operating system that allows only one user at a time, or you can say that is a type of operating system that allows only one user to use the computer at a time. No other user, let's say I am using this computer, no other one can use this computer. So this one is known as, let's say, but Windows is multi-user operating system. If I was using MS-DOS at that time, we can call it, this is a single user operating system. It is typically used on microcomputer. Microcomputers. What is microcomputer? Our PCs, personal computer, laptops, which we are using in our homes, at our homes, in offices, they are known as microcomputers. So this kind of operating, single user operating system is used in microcomputer. The single user operating system can be divided into 2 types. Now they divide the single user operating system into two types. Number one, single user single tasking. User is one, but the tasks are different, means more than one. Then this is called single user single tasking. Over at the above, we studied in the types of different types of operating system, multitasking operating system, single tasking. So this topic belongs to the same question. Single user single tasking, an operating system that allows only one user to perform one task at the time on the computer is called single user single task operating system. It means that when user is one and the task is one, then at this time it will be called single user single task operating system. The computer resources like CPU, memory. Memory means primary memory, secondary memory. In a primary memory, RAM, ROM, cache. So this is called the primary memory. And the secondary memory means hard disk, USB, memory cards, and they are called the secondary memory. So resources like CPU, memory, and input-output devices are not shared. In the single user, single task operating system, all of these things, all the resources are not shared. It means that no one can access these resources. So this one is known as single user, single task operating system. It requires less memory. Less memory, less memory means like 2 MB RAM, 4 MB RAM, up to so on. So this one is less MB. DOS is an example of single user, single tasking operating system. I told you before, if I'm using the MS-DOS in this laptop or in this computer at that time, I can call it this system, this operating, I am using the operating system. DOS is single user and single task operating system. Next one. In a single user operating system, we have divided single user single tasking, single user multitasking, single user multitasking. Now user is one, but the tasks are more than one. At this time, we can call this one single user multitasking operating system. So Windows is single user multitasking operating system. Watch over here. At this operating system Windows, I am using Zoom, also Adobe Reader. So user is only one, but the tasks are more than one. Now I can call it, this time I am using single user multitasking operating system. Okay, the definition of single user multitasking operating system is an operating system that allows one user to perform multiple tasks at a time on the computer is called single user multitasking operating system. At the above, it was one user and one task. This one is known as single user single tasking, but user is one, but the tasks are more than one. Now at this time, I can call this a single user multitasking operating system. For example, the user can write text in word processor, means MS Word. Word processor means MS Word. Listen the music. At the same time, he performing the multiple tasks. He is writing or he is typing some kind of letters or applications at the MS Word, and also listening the music on the laptop as well. So two programs or more than two programs are running simultaneously. So this one is known as single user multitasking operating system. Listen to the music and download a file from the internet at the same time. This type of operating system is used on most personal computers. Personal computer means microcomputers or personal computer, those computers which we are using in our homes, in our offices, is known as personal computer. Microsoft Windows and Mac operating systems are examples of single user multitasking operating system. So this one is known as Microsoft Windows. So I am using the Windows, Microsoft Windows. So it is single user multitasking operating system. I give you the another example. Watch over here, single user multitasking. In one computer, like this one is my personal computer. I am the one user and I currently open two programs at a time. One is Zoom, another one is Adobe Reader. So this one is single user. User is one, but the programs are more than one, is known as single user multitasking operating system. Next, over here, we have discussed single user operating system. Now we are going to the multi-user operating system. Multi-user operating system means more than one user if access a computer is known as multi-user operating system. An operating system that allows multiple users to use the same computer at a time is called multi-user operating system. Watch over here. If my computer is accessed, if this computer where I am doing the work, one is me who access this computer as well as in the network, another user also access this computer. So then this one is called multi-user operating system. It manages the task of all users. Watch over there in our computer lab, there are two users are present. All the time two users are present in our computers. Which one? One is student and another one is lab one or administrator. So two user. When you open student user, then what happened? You saw the same screen as the previous day you saw it. But when will you open the different user account, then you will saw different kind of screen over there. So it means that operating system keeps the records of each and every user. Over here, an operating system that allows multiple users to use the same computer at this time is called multi-user operating system. It manages the task of all user efficiently. Task of all user efficiently, which you are performing the yesterday. You can also access the same tasks today also and tomorrow also. But if the user is same, if you are accessing the student user, the work which you have done the yesterday, you can access the same work on today, and you can also access same work from tomorrow. It also makes sure that the task of one user does not affect the task of other user. Most important point, if you're using currently task in, let's say, administrator, then you can affect the other one programs. But if you're using a student task, if you're using the student user, then you cannot, because student is restricted user. Restricted user means we put the some kind of restrictions over there. You cannot delete the Windows file. You can only delete the user files. Even you can delete your own files, or if same user, student user of another class, you can also delete the files of them. But you cannot delete the files of administrator. Even you cannot change the time of system. Watch over here the time is present. So this one is known as multi-user operating system. It also makes sure that the task of one user does not affect the task of other user. It requires powerful processor like core to do or dual core, core i3, core i7, core i5. This one is known as processor. So core i9 nowadays is present. So Core i9 is more powerful as compared to Core i7. Same, Core i7 is more powerful Core i3, and the Core i3 is more powerful to Core to do or dual core up to so on. It requires more powerful processor, large memory. Large memory means if you have a large amount of RAM, how much 2 GB, 4 GB, up to so on. This one is called the large amount of RAM. And storage capacity. Storage capacity depends on the hard disk. So nowadays 300 GB, 600 GB, even 1 terabyte GB hard disk is available. Even 2 terabyte also available in, but we cannot install the 2 terabyte hard disk in our computer system in low processor operating system because it will be hanged. But you can also, if you have the latest computer system or you are using the camera system where the large amount of hard disk they install to store their recordings. So large memory and storage capacity. Multi-user operating systems are typically used in networking environments. Where? In networking environment. Some example of multi-user operating systems are Unix, Linux, and Windows Server. We are using currently Windows client, but if I install the Windows Server, then with the help of some application, I can make this computer as server also. So this one is, this topic was describe the types of operating system based on the number of user. Over here, single user operating system, multi-user operating. In a single user, we have discussed single user, single task operating system, single user, multitasking operating system. And next was multi-user operating system. Next, describe different functions performed by operating system. Different function, this one is very, very long topic. Anyway, how we can access. Process management. Different functions performed by the operating system are as follows. Process management. Process management is an important function of operating system. A process is a program. Now, what's the definition of process over here? A process is a program in execution. Any program which is under the execution of CPU, currently under the watch over there, we are using different programs, but currently which program is executing? Currently Zoom is executing and Adobe Reader is executing. Now these two programs are currently executing. So time slice, yesterday I told you in the topics. So one by one, how many millisecond time assigned with the Zoom and how much millisecond my processor assigned to the this one Adobe Reader. So this one is called the program under execution. There are two programs currently under execution. One is executed, then after 2 milliseconds, another program executed. So parallel, there it looks like parallel they are executing. A computer can execute many processes at a time. Watch over here. Single computer I am using, and but at the same time, many processes means two processes currently I am using. One is Zoom and another one is Adobe Reader. A process may need many resources, such as processor. So Zoom is also required processor and Adobe Reader is also required processor. Memory and input output. The operating system handles these tasks for the process. It allocates the required resources to the processes. It enables a process to share and exchange information. It also protects the resources of one process from the other process. Example, watch over here. If currently there are three processes are executing, let's say, suppose three processes A, B, and C. At my computer, A is assume that Zoom is A, B is Adobe Reader, and C is, let's say you are this folder, second year folder. So three programs are currently under execution. Process A, it has a CPU cycle of 6 millisecond. It means that it requires 6 milliseconds to complete this program. Process B, it has the CPU life cycle 3 milliseconds. Process C, it has a CPU cycle of 2 milliseconds. Let's say one by one they are executing. Case, the operating system can manages these processes as follows. Total execution time is as follows if 3 processes become ready for the execution in order of A, B, C. Total execution time is how much? 6, 6, 9, 11 divided by 3. So I think over here in the notes, they are doing the wrong answer. 6, 9, so total is divided by 3. So total run time is for case A, 8.66 millisecond. Case 2, total execution time is as follows if the 3 processes become ready for the execution. 3, 5, 11 divided by 3, it means like 6.33 milliseconds. And this kind of operating system, this is another example. It was gives, suppose they didn't give the same example of this one, they give us the different example. So data is not like if the data I will take this one, so it could be 6 plus 3, 9 plus 2, 11. 11 divided by 3 is equal to divided by 3, 11 divided nearly 3 point something, 3.22 or like this one, it will result. This operating system is managing the process more efficiently. More efficiently, it will manage the process. So today, I think it's enough. Inshallah, tomorrow we will discuss the further topic, memory management. Today, we have stopped over here, and I hope you will understand this topic, and I hope you will pray for me, pray for all Muslims. Revise your topics till tomorrow, till next day. Take care, and Allah Hafiz.